So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It is 3:13 a.m. New York City time, and welcome to an episode of early morning, late night driving convo with Pesci Boomin. Alright, so I'm going to get myself prepared, throw on some sweats and a hoodie, and go get in the car and get this episode started. Tonight we're gonna take a trip down to NYC, Manhattan. Alright, we're gonna go check out the city late night. Alright, so let's go. Whew. Alright, so on the walk to the car, but it is a brisk night. It is a brisk night in New York. Whew. And a quick Manhattan run. Sometimes, it's good to take a drive, clear the mind. These late night drives, for me, are therapeutic. Sometimes, like, being in the house can become a little tight. You know what I'm saying? It can become a little cramped. Feel like you just need to get out and venture. So, yeah. Oh man.
India, if you go through a Kundu. India.
So, I have no conversation, like a planned conversation. I have no topics. These late night drives, the thoughts flow. The thoughts flow. The internal conversations flow. You don't really have to dig them up. They come to you naturally. Could be something that you're listening to. I tend to listen to a lot of audiobooks, and if they aren't exactly audiobooks, I tend to listen to a lot of philosophical audios in my car. I barely ever listen to the radio, and the reason why is because I like to stand guard, the watchman over what I allow to make its way into my ears. So when it comes to the radio, they have all type of commercials, and they are attempting to plant seeds. So I like to be able to control that, because if not, that's how you'll hear a song and you'll say, yo, I don't like that song, man. I don't like that song. But when you hear it enough, you might not like it, but you may know every word of the song. You know what I'm saying? You'll know every word, because the message and the song and the rhythm and the beat is all there to get into your subconscious. So in my car, I just listen to audios and, like I said, philosophical audio. But being that this video is going to be on YouTube, you know, you're not allowed to have music or anything of that nature on your videos, because you'll get a copyright strike. And I've had a copyright strike on my YouTube one time before for 3 months. For 3 months, because I streamed a UFC event on my YouTube channel. So I had a 3-month copyright strike where I couldn't go live. So I learned from that. So yep. So I'm on the way to the highway right now. Currently I'm in Westchester County. In Westchester County, I'm gonna jump on the sawmill maybe to the Henry Hudson, or I might jump on the 87. Possibly. When I get to that fork in the road, I'll make that decision. Make this a regular occurrence. It's going to be a regular occurrence. Driving Convo. And when I'm able to go live, it'll be better, because it'll be more interactive.
As a man thinketh, so is he. Or to be more exact, as a man thinketh, so he will become. When a pebble is dropped into a pond, it sends out ripples that continue in ever-widening circles until they reach the extreme edge. As far as the eye can see, they end there. However, this is not so.
Yeah, so this is the perfect time to take a drive. It's the perfect time to take a drive, because there's pretty much, no traffic. It's not many people on the road at this hour. Right now it's 3:56 a.m. But in about an hour or so, there's gonna be more traffic, more people on the road in about an hour. And then in an hour and a half, by 5:30, there's gonna be a substantial amount more of traffic. And then 6 o'clock, today is Tuesday, so school's in session. School buses are going to be out. People going to work. The early birds that go to work. The 7 to 3 people, not necessarily the 9 to 5 people, but the people that work 7 to 3. Right over the Hudson River. So you got the Hudson River, George Washington Bridge. That's all that separates New York to Jersey on this side of town. Man, so sometimes you gotta tear it down to the foundation, to the root, and build it back up. You know, and the thing is, you know, you can start at any time or at any point. But it just takes one thing, right? And this is what I really want to get into. It only takes faith. If you have faith, if you have unwavering faith, like the type of faith that no matter what, you don't go back and forth from having faith to not having faith. You know, when you have that faith that is, what's the word I'm looking for? When you have faith that is immovable, no matter what, no matter what the day throws at you, when you have that kind of faith, you cannot be denied. The type of faith that when people try to tell you that the situation is hopeless and you need to go a different way, you need to change your plans, you know, when they want to put fear, when they want to project their fear on you, when you have the faith that doesn't allow any of that to shake you from standing on your faith, the world opens up for you, because you see everything different. You see everything in a different light. You see everything in a different light. And you're okay with it. That's the thing. You are okay with it. You are unbothered by it. And for me, that is the faith that I am cultivating. I am cultivating that kind of faith, because honestly, it's pretty much the only faith that, it's the only faith that's worth having. Because if you don't have unshakable faith, then what kind of faith do you have? And the faith that you do have, can you even call it faith if it's not 100%? If you're not 100% all in on it, you know what I'm saying? Can you even call that faith? Can you? Yeah, so if you don't have that immovable faith 100%, check out the Benz dealer. Benz of Manhattan. So you got Benz of Manhattan there, and we have Range Rover on the other side of us. But yeah, if you don't have that immovable faith, then what do you have? Because you got to be solid. You got to be solid. It has to be solid. You know, the vision got to be tight. And that's what I'm cultivating. I am, and I have been. I am confident that God has everything worked out. Everything is worked out already. Therefore, I go with the flow. Go with the flow. I believe that life is supposed to be gone with the flow. I believe that you have no choice but to go with the flow. And the flow is not something that's outside of you. You know, the flow is not something that's outside of you. The flow is something that is internal. The flow is internal as well as eternal. So I go with the flow. Right now we are passing 42nd Street, currently 42nd and 11th Avenue. Coming up on Jacob Javits Center. They have an AI Summit, New York. I'm gonna check out, I'm gonna Google the AI Summit at Jacob Javits Center. And right across the street from Jacob Javits Center, you have Hudson Yards. Hudson Yards. I want to give you guys a view of Hudson Yards real quick. Is this? Yeah. So we got Hudson Yards here. Give you guys a quick view. If I can get some parking, I'm gonna get out and take a quick stroll through there, so you can get a more detailed look at Hudson Yards. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, I don't know about everyone. I know about me. I tried everything, you know. I tried everything. I tried harder. I tried figuring it out. You know, I tried everything. I tried everything. And the one thing that I hadn't truly tried, and we hear it, you know, we hear it a lot. God, the scripture, the what do they call it? The Psalms, the Palms, the Psalms. It's my favorite store right here on the corner, B&H. B&H. D&H Photo, Video, Pro Audio. If you need anything, photo, video, or pro audio, that's the place. Alright, that's the place. 34th and 9th Avenue. Takes up a whole block. Can't miss it. But yeah, I tried everything. And you know, things would work somewhat. They will work a little bit, but it never gave me the fix that I was looking for, the fix that I was yearning for, the fix that I was pleading for, the fix that I was searching for. It never gave it to me. You know, it's something that you try to find in relationships. And when I say relationships, I mean, I guess I got some parking, so I'll park here and I'll maybe walk down. But right now I'm gonna go get a coffee. But I'm gonna finish this thought. Fix in relationships that, you know, you look for it in relationships in other people. You look for it in relationships with your family. You know, and they have to be this way for you to be okay with them. You know, and that is fleeting. It's fleeting, because yeah, they can be like that one day and satisfy you one day, but in the next moment they can be something different, you know, and they are free to do that. They're free to do it. So it's a fleeting thing. You'll never find it, and I never found it doing that. The only way I found it is when I just surrendered everything. I just pretty much said, I don't know crap, I don't know anything. You know, everything that I thought I knew, I could possibly be wrong about everything that I thought I knew. You know, I could possibly be wrong about 5% of everything I thought I knew, 10%, 15, 20, 30, 40. But when you realize that, like, it's like, damn, I'm wrong about 30% of what I thought I knew. Then it allows you to humble yourself and say, hold on, if I'm 30% and I couldn't even believe that I was 30% wrong, then what if I'm 50% wrong? And if I'm 50, then it's looking like there's a good chance that I can be 60 and 70, 80. And if I'm 80% wrong about the things that I thought I knew, then who's to say that I'm not 100% wrong? So that just allowed me to have a clean slate. And I surrendered to God in the scripture, you know. And you know, you have the 10 commandments: thou shalt not steal, kill, you know, show love to your neighbor, you know, honor thy father. So I just started living by those principles, and I just used those as a foundation and a starting point to work from. And I didn't venture off of it. And I said, all right, if this is the promise that was promised to me, if this is what God promised me, that if I abided by these laws of God, then I'm covered. And then the kingdom of God, I have all access to the kingdom. And what more could you want? What more did I want but access to the kingdom? What more did I want than to not have problems? Because God said to give him your problems. So you know what I did? I gave God all my problems. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's a problem? Give it to God. And I just kept it moving. I gave it to God and I just kept on going. You know what I'm saying? All right, oh, this came up. God, take that. I'm going over here to play basketball. See, you know what I'm saying? Oh, God, this is going on. Oh, God, that's you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going over here to, I'm going to the gym. You know? Oh, this is happening? God, here you go. Here you go, take that. I'm gonna go make a YouTube video. I'm gonna go edit a video, you know? So what better is to have that? There's absolutely nothing better, because it allows you to be free. It frees you. It absolutely frees you. So let me run into the store. B&H. What's up, brother? You going out?
No,
Oh, okay.
don't worry.
Okay.
No, bro.
What's up, brother? Can I get a coffee? Whew. Is in a Christmas spirit, only like Manhattan can do. Only Manhattan can light up a city like this. Show you guys Hudson Yards real quick, because it's brick outside. 22 degrees at the moment. 22 on my boo. 22 on my boo. So gonna do a quick Hudson Yards, show you around the town. 5 a.m. This is the train station, Hudson Yards, 34th Street, Hudson Yards 7 train. Now all of this here is pretty new. I would say within the past like 5 years they built most of what you're seeing. These buildings. Well, yeah, it's pretty lit up at the moment. It's lit up at the moment in the Christmas spirit. So they have an Equinox gym here. Equinox Club. I'm gonna have to check this out one day. Got the security guard knocked out. He's taking a nap. You got Equinox here. Got a Starbucks. They even dressed this thing up. Christmas decor. And they have a huge mall here. I forget what they call this thing. Gonna see. Oh, it's called the Vessel. But yeah, this is Hudson Yards, man. In the daytime, Hudson Yards is a busy place. So come to Hudson Yards. Come visit the Vessel at Hudson Yards. With office buildings, and this is a mall. It's a pretty big mall over here. Really a luxury mall. Luxury mall, upscale dining. As you can see, they got Rolex store, watches of Switzerland, Tudor, Born to Dare, watches of Switzerland, Zenith, Petite, Philippe. So yeah, they got a pretty upscale mall here. I know they have a hotel here also. I wonder if this is the hotel. I'm not exactly sure. Possibly. But yeah, whenever you're in NYC, come to Hudson Yards, check out the Vessel. Come check out the Vessel. Come grab us a rollie. One for you and one for me. This is the mall that's getting ready to open. 6 a.m. And then they have something called the Edge here. And that is like, I wonder what floor the Edge goes up to. But it's pretty high. It's like, I've been there before. But they have the Cartier store. So yeah, this is a really upscale mall, but the Edge goes all the way up, and the floor is glass, so you can actually see downstairs. You can actually see through it. Oh, here it is right here. That's the Edge. So it doesn't tell you what floor it's on, but it's way up, as you can see from this picture here. Above the city, beyond the amazing. Edge, NYC. So yeah, that is Hudson Yards for you. Pretty cold. Yeah, it's very cold out here. Woo! It's no joke. Definitely need some gloves. So it seems like gloves is gonna be a nice investment. But guys, it is really cold outside. Whew. Alright, so that was Hudson Yards. We'll come down here one day in the daytime. So you could check that out. You can have a better view. Although the view is good, but you know, you can have a daytime view of the one and only Hudson Yards. So we're gonna head back uptown right now and get back into a convo. Get back into a conversation, man. I'm really looking forward to being able to go live and have these conversations. I think it'll be very therapeutic for us all in all. All in all, question. And that question is, do you believe everything happens for a reason? And when things happen, and if everything happens for a reason, when something happens that you find unfavorable or not exactly to your liking, or something happens that you would rather it happen another way, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with it? Do you get upset? Or you knowing that everything happens for a reason, do you take it in stride or take it in stride? How, like, you know, how do you deal with that type of situation when something happens and it's not favorable for you in a sense? Because for me, I've learned that everything that happens happens for a reason. And you know, I read I read a book called The Alchemist. The Alchemist. And you know, they call alchemy someone that can turn lead into gold. You know, if you can turn lead into gold, you're an alchemist. You know, you're an alchemist if you can turn lead into gold. So I took that lesson there, and also somebody else that turned one thing into another was Jesus. Jesus turned water to wine. Right? So Jesus was also an alchemist. Jesus also practiced alchemy. So when you're faced with those situations that are unfavorable, for me, I only have one choice. I don't even have, you know, it's not even an option to have it as something that is bad, you know, quote unquote bad. It's good. And it's now time for me to do what needs to be done to turn it into something favorable for me. Favorable. And sometimes you allow it. You just allow it. You know, you don't react to it. You just allow it. Look at it. Observe. And in due time. And even when I say in due time, you may not even have to do any thinking about it. It may be as simple as sleeping on it. A lot of things is as easy as sleeping on it and allowing the message to come to you. Because the thing is, when you're faced with something that's not favorable, you're searching. You turn it. You put yourself in search for the answer mode. You know, I gotta find the answer. I gotta search for it. I gotta figure it out. When really, there's nothing for you to figure out. There's nothing for you to figure out. The only thing that you must do is allow. Keep the channel clear. Keep the passage open so that way the message can find you. But a lot of times when you're searching, the message that's trying to find you, it can't find you because you're unavailable. So when I'm faced with something that is not favorable, I automatically just allow it. I allow it. I go find something else to do. I may go to the park and shoot some hoops. And then all of a sudden while I'm shooting hoops, boom, the answer just comes to me. Boom. And then I realize that the answer is something that I already have. You know, it just happens that it gets put together like, oh, you know what? Oh, I have this, and I can attach this to that, and I can use this for that, and boom, and that way I can get this to work the way that I need it to work. You know? So that's being an alchemist. That is a form of alchemy. When you're able to look at something that is bad and turn it into something good. When you're able to take a negative and charge it positively. That is alchemy. So when you're faced with those situations, that way you can understand when things happen for a reason, that everything happens in favor of you, in your good favor. But you gotta give it, you gotta allow it. Because what I find with a lot of people, and once myself also, you block your blessings. You block your blessings. Because if you go back and you think about where you started. Think about where you started and how much you had to do to get to where you are. Okay? So let me break that down a little bit more. Think about where you started, and as a embryo, as like something very, very small. Very small. And think about how much work you had to do to grow your arms, to grow your fingers, your toes, your eyes, your intricate cardiovascular system, your intricate blood vessels, and everything about you. You didn't have to do much. It kind of just happened, right? Like something just did it for you. So you gotta allow things to happen. You just have to allow it. Because guess what? What is meant to be is meant to be. What is meant to be is meant to be. And it's really that simple. So if what is meant to be is meant to be, how about you just focus on enjoying? Take the stress away. Take the stress away. Enjoy. Take the stress away. Because what is meant to be is meant to be. So take the stress away and be. Take the stress away and be. Because all the blessings are in you being. That's where all your blessings are. And how far do you have to search to be? You don't have to search anywhere to be, because you already are. Because you already are. So the moment that you start searching outside of you, you're always gonna have stress. You're always gonna have confusion. You're always gonna have problems, issues, sadness, depression. The moment that you search outside of you, you're going to be depressed. The moment you search outside of you, you're going to experience anxiety. The moment you search outside of you, you're going to experience confusion. That's where all of those things are going to come from. The moment you search for you, the moment you search for being outside of being, you are going to encounter fear. You're going to encounter not being enough, scarcity. You're going to encounter poverty, because all you have to do is be, and you already came in the world as being. You already came in the world as that. But we're taught, and it's no fault of our parents. But now that you know better, you must do better, because we have no time to blame. You know, we have no time to blame others for us being naive, because we all come across a point where you say, oh, you know, you have an aha moment. And when you have that aha moment, that's when you know. That's when you know. So like I said, there's no one to blame. You know, you don't have time to blame your parents or, you know, the system and blah 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 blah. You know, you can just know that stuff and say, okay, this is what's going on, and this is what I am, and you proceed. And a lot of times, you know, you don't even have to say a word. All you have to do is be. And by being, you are the example. You are X. X marks the being. And being ample. Okay? So you are the X ample. So you are the showing of the abundance. You're the being. So you are the showing of the abundance, of the ampleness of one. The abundance of one. That is you. And you don't have to search outside for the abundance of one, because the moment that you were conceived, you were the abundance of one. For real, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And my battery is about to die, so I'm gonna leave this right here like that, and I'll be out tonight, late night drive in Convo with your godson at Pesci Bowman. Love always wins. Alright? Peace.